Hey everybody, welcome. I love these coffee chats because it just kind of gets us started on Monday in the right foot, getting moving, and we're back again.
I know. I love that it gets me up and like makes me put on a face and be human. And get out of my pajamas on Monday morning. That it's fantastic that I have to do all of that. I know you have to do that much earlier on Monday mornings, but yes, I have to do it by 9:30, so it's kind of a big deal.
I don't get pretty in any way, shape, or form. I always joke, like I teach at 4:30 and at 5:30, and then I have clients in between, and I'm like, my hair is not brushed, my teeth are not brushed. I just show up. Sometimes I've got lines on my face from when I was sleeping. That's the beauty of doing it from your
online, right? Yeah. I don't know how many times I've been in a class and been like, I'm glad nobody can smell me in any way. All right, so now you know how attractive Lindsay and I are. So today we're actually going to be talking a little bit, we're bringing our worlds together. So we're talking today about fueling your fitness. So we're going to talk about we'll talk probably a little bit about sleep, a little bit about what to eat before workouts, what to do during workouts, what to eat after workouts. Good morning, Debbie. So we're just going to talk a little bit about that today.
Yeah, and I mean, again, we get a lot of questions about this because, it depends on the type of person. So you have somebody who's never worked out before and now wants to start working out, and they're not sure how to fuel their fitness at all. Maybe they're eating small amounts of calories, and what does that look like? Or they've started working out and they've gained some weight because of it, and they want to know what the heck's going on. So we're going to touch base on that. And then just in general, when to eat. Because again, Christina and I, we work out at very different times of the day. And so what I have to eat versus before and after, what Christina does, if you work out in the evening, what that looks like. So we're going to cover a few things that have come on, questions to us in the past as well. If any of you guys have any questions, definitely let us know. If you are watching the replay, give us a hashtag replay, ask a question, and we'll happily answer it for you. And then I know some of you guys have been waiting. We do have a very exciting announcement coming at the end of our coffee chat. So yes, you have to learn and get all the information, and then you're going to hear all about the fun that's coming. So, all right, Christina, so let's talk a little bit about, so I am newer into exercise. I don't really know where I'm starting. What are some of the big issues that we find, especially those who are not as further out from surgery in terms of calories and energy level?
So the first one that we do always find is we find, especially in the bariatric world, that a lot of people are eating a really low calorie level, like 900 or below. And then they want to start into workouts. And so a couple things happen. One, your energy level dips way down because it takes calories to keep our bodies moving. We think calories are these evil little things that sew our clothes tighter together or whatever, but they're not. Calories are actually the fuel for your body. So if you think about like the fuel in your gas tank of your car, calories work the same way in your body. So calories aren't bad. The quality of calories can vary for sure. And there is, amounts of the numbers that it's the same with the, the gauge on your gas tank, that you can't just pump gas into your tank, indefinitely and expect your car to go, that eventually the gas would flood over and it wouldn't be a good scene. Also, if you don't have enough fuel in there, your car isn't going to go. So it's the same thing as a total non-car person for your body, that you need to have the right amount in there in order to make your body go efficiently. So if you don't have enough calories and you start into exercise, you will often find you're very fatigued. And then what happens is your body's kind of elective processes, the ones that don't have to work, will start to slow down. So your blood will still pump, your heart will still work, your lungs will still work, and all of those things will still happen. But one of the things that really does get impacted, there's a couple, but one of the ones that I really care about is metabolism. So when you don't have enough calories, your metabolism slows down because you still need to metabolize food, but you don't need to metabolize food quickly in order to live. You can metabolize food very, very slowly, as like in the old times with like hunters and gatherers and stuff like that. They metabolized very slowly because they didn't know how long they'd go between meals. So our bodies are meant to adapt to that, but it's not necessarily good in terms of overall health and wellness and losing weight, that you want your metabolism to work really quickly. So if you don't have enough calories, your metabolism slows down, and often it will cause weight loss stalls or even gains because you're storing food for future use is basically what's happening. So that's not what you want to do. You want to have the right amount of calories for your body. So Lindsay, how do they find out what the right amount of calories is?
Well, and you've heard us talk about our BMR, so our basal metabolic rate, so many times. And again, in the bariatric world, we don't recommend you getting something like that done until at least 12 months or beyond, because your body's still trying to readjust, figure out what the heck's going on, what happened, oh my goodness. So, but going and getting a BMR test, I know right now it might be a little bit more challenging, but some places are open and understanding. Your BMR is basically like a fingerprint. Every single person has individual personalized number, just like your fingerprint. And so it's really hard to know exactly what that looks like without that BMR test. But we do have some calculations we can figure out. We do have those things going. But one of the things we do find, especially if you're not as far out, that your body still is unable to increase your calories, depending on where you are. So when we talk to people who are, 6 months and or further out, the very first question we always ask is, well, let's be honest, the first question we ask all the time is, how many calories are you eating? Because if you're only eating 500 calories because you haven't got that far yet, we're trying to push that calorie up, then starting a workout routine that's anything more than walking, and I've even had to tell people, like, slow the walking down. Like, going for hours and hours at a time is still burning calories, and all you're doing is you're slowing that metabolism down. You're storing those fuels for what comes later, and all of the work and effort you're putting in is not really doing what you want it to do, right? We hear often, you're not eating enough calories to lose the weight, and you're working too hard, and that exists all the time in our world. And so we really want to make sure that you guys understand that. But so fueling your workouts is a whole, type of project, because you have to know when to eat, what to eat, that kind of stuff. But here's the thing, it doesn't have to be difficult. And I think that's where people get really strugglesome. Like, we've heard people say, well, I just don't work out because I don't even know what to eat, right? We hear that all the time. And so we want to come to you and kind of say, like, it doesn't have to be difficult, and it doesn't have to be perfect to start. So if you're like, I have no idea, I don't know when I'm going to work out, they're talking about AM workouts, they're talking about PM workouts, I just don't know where I am. Again, you got to start to understand what your body requires. And every single body is different. And we say this all the time, right? Your own personal lab rat. What works for me at an early morning workout might not work for Christina at an early morning workout, might not work for Debbie, and it might not work for anybody else. So it is all about kind of that trial and error. See what works, see what doesn't work, what fits happily in my body, right? People are like, have a banana. I'm like, yeah, right? I don't want that. Have a protein shake. Oh, right? So there's so many different things that you can do. But understanding how to kind of bring that fuel into your fitness routine is really, really important. So, Christina, when we're talking about doing any type of workout, we hear often, like, how far before a workout should we eat? How far after a workout should we eat? What are some of the things I should be eating while I'm working out, if I work out, the average of 2 to 3 times a week kind of thing? What are some of the tips we give them?
So I find, again, there's a ton of information out there. Just before I go to that, I wanted to touch on one other thing. Fasted workouts is something I wanted to mention. So we see a lot of people that are like, well, I fast before my workout, so I work out like without eating anything. And so there's a lot of research out there about fasting, and there's some good things about fasting. In the bariatric world, I don't feel like there's a lot of benefits to fasting. I feel like you're just depleting your calories even further, that in your eating period, if you're doing like intermittent fasting or something like that, it's really tough to get your calories in. It's hard to get your calories in eating all day long, let alone only eating like an 8-hour window. And then fasted workouts are only actually beneficial for elite athletes for the most part, that you need to be that kind of extreme level of athleticism in order for those fasted workouts to be working. I believe your body fat percentage has to be, is it under 18% or something like that, Lindsay?
Yeah, under 18 to really make a huge difference to that. Now, again, I know we've heard this all the time, again, especially if you're early morning workout. Well, how do I do that? Well, without me turning around and saying, well, wake up half an hour early, which to me, when I wake up at 4 a.m. is not happening half an hour earlier. I get that, and we understand that. But what we're trying to say is that even if you get a little bit of something, right, a half an energy ball, again, I have struggled with a half a banana before, where I just kind of get something in. And that is a really important one. So the fasting, there was a lot of research that came out. It was probably 3 or 4 years ago, where it was a really big fitness trend. Go and get your fasted cardio, and go get your fasted cardio. And they've kind of debunked a little bit of that, because, again, it comes down to the amount of calories you need, the depletion of the calories that your body requires. But again, in the bariatric world, it is so hard to get those calories in anyways. Can you imagine, you wake up, you're already in deficit because you've been sleeping, right? Hence break the fast. And then you go into further deficit. So now you're starting your day off in a huge deficit, which I know everybody's like, well, isn't that the point? Calories in versus calories out. To a degree, yes, but not when you're in a place where if you're trying to catch up on 600 calories already, for example, I mean, that's a pretty high number, but let's just use that because it's math-wise. And then you're only eating 1,200 calories, like, you're not even close, and it's like halfway through the day and you haven't even got there. So for us, for ease sake, just to keep this, for you guys to be realistic, we want you to eat something, and that's what Christina is going to kind of say what that something could be. And again, everyone is going to be different, so keep that in mind.
So I find ideally before a workout, carbs are your friend, which I know a lot of you are like, carbs are never my friend. No, right before a workout, carbs are quick fuel. So carbs are the quickest way to give your body that little energy boost that it needs to get you through this workout. So ideally within 30 minutes of your workout. So that means if you're working out at 8 a.m., sometime between 7:30 and 5 to 8, you want to have some carbs. I literally, when I work out in the morning, I've taught the early morning classes sometimes too. And when I teach in the morning, I grab something from my kitchen and I'm walking down to my workout space as I'm eating it. And then I get downstairs, I turn on my computer, I do so it's like 5 minutes before the workout, maybe 10 minutes before the workout that I'm eating. I cannot eat something heavy at that point. So it has to be something like an energy ball is great, like a protein muffin or something. I can do a small piece of fruit, like Lindsay said, half a banana. A banana is an amazing pre-workout if you can stomach it. Lindsay and I have talked about this, and neither one of us can seem to stomach a banana before a workout. It just sits really heavy. But if you can, it's a really great pre-workout option. I also will do the pancakes, like a protein pancake, like a Kodiak cake or something. I literally just keep them in the fridge. I pull them out, I put a little bit of peanut butter on it, and I just eat it cold. Again, for some people, they're like, ooh, that's disgusting. For me, that works really great. A piece of toast is a good pre-workout, like a piece of Ezekiel bread or something like that. I often do that if I work out at my 11 o'clock time. I find in the morning, it still sits a little heavy for me. So again, it will vary person to person and what time of day you're working out. When I work out in the morning, energy ball or waffle or pancake or something like that works really well. A protein bar works okay for me first thing in the morning as well. If I do them, Lindsay hates protein bars, any of them. It doesn't matter. We've tried 100 million of them and she hates them all. So I could do one of those first thing. If I work out later in the day, then I can do definitely something a little bit different. So that's my pre-workout suggestion, is anything carb heavy and healthy carbs. So again, you're looking at fruit, you're looking at oats, you're looking at whole grains, you're looking at that kind of stuff. If you're having to eat more than 30 minutes before your workout, so if you're working out at 8, but you have to eat at 6:30, because say you have a commute in there, or you have kids to get ready, or something else happening in your world that you can't eat out eat that 30 minutes before, you're going to need something a little bit heavier and probably with some protein in it, because your protein is going to keep you, it's a slower release energy source. So your protein is going to release a little bit later, whereas your carbs, if you eat at 6:30 and you work out at 8, your carbs are already pretty much used or stored by then. So it depends how long before your workout you're eating. Anything to add there, Lindsay?
Yeah, no, and I think the biggest thing is just to remember what works for you is not necessarily going to work for somebody else. So, I mean, when I was doing all my training for my Ironman and stuff, I had a training partner, and she's like, oh, I'll have this, I'll have that, and she'd have an amazing ride, and then I would try it, and I would have a terrible ride, I'd feel horrible, and my energy sources were completely gone. So everything depends on you. So the best advice is try something and then see how you feel. And that's where a journal comes into play, a phone, anything that you can write it down and just be like, yeah, I had great energy until about 10 minutes before the workout was done. And I really felt like I was, lacking. Well, that could be obviously just how hard you work, but it also could be the type of energy source you used. It could have helped you, and then it just gone right out. Depending on the time of day, again, we always say you don't have to have a pre-snack before your workout. If you are working out at 1 o'clock, have a lunch, right? Yeah. It doesn't have to be specific snack. If you're, having breakfast and then you're working out at 10 o'clock, that's fine. If you're a nighttime worker, you're like, have a dinner. But always remember the type of food that you have will sit dependent on what you have in your stomach. So I see a lot of people, this is something that I just can't even get my head around. It's like, okay, it's time to go for a workout, and they're like grabbing their shake. And I'm like, I can't even imagine how, again, like just...
I've done it before, because again, I saw it too and thought it was the right thing to do. And even a smoothie, which without protein, say, but you're just using like a fruit smoothie, I would the sloshing in my stomach. Like I can literally hear and feel that right now. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, oh, it's so.
And even if you're doing cardio versus strength, like strength, obviously you're not doing as much moving, so like the sloshing might not be there. It's a really hard digestive to kind of go through and get into your system. And I know it kind of goes against a lot of our liquid medicines are easier to get in, but it's just always something to think about is how you feel when you're doing it, right? I know even if I'm doing a heavy cardio workout, if I drink too much water at a time, I can feel the sloshing. So when you add, shakes and So anyway, so just be aware of what it is you're eating, and then write it down, because again, if something works really, really well for you, then that's what you want to use moving forward. If something works not so well for you, then that's what you want to avoid moving forward. I mean, obviously, in case sometimes I have to have a banana because I got nothing else to do, I sometimes have it anyways, just because I need to have something. But focusing on what you can and works well is the best way to fuel that body before you work out. Now, what about after a workout, Christina? Let's talk about that one.
So after a workout, you want to do a protein source primarily. Protein is the building block to muscle. So if you're working out, you're essentially trying to build muscle, you're trying to get stronger. Even if it's a cardio workout, you still have muscle to repair. There's tearing of the fibers, and you want to repair those and replenish them. So protein is the way to go after a workout. So if you want that protein shake after your workout, is much better. Again, ideally within about 30 minutes after that workout is kind of your sweet spot. So then you're using that protein. Protein is going to release a little bit slower. So often I will finish a workout and be ravenous because my body is now used to, you eat after a workout. Like this is just what you do. You need to repair, replenish, refuel, do all of those things. So a protein shake is a good option. Some Greek yogurt, some cottage cheese, meat of any sort. All good, really great options for after a workout. Some healthy carbs thrown in there too if you do feel depleted of energy. You can definitely replenish those carbs. So again, a protein shake with a little bit of like banana in it or some strawberries in it or some raspberries or something like that in your protein shake is a really great option. Or yogurt with some fruit or something like that. Eggs are another really good one, that if you can do eggs after a workout with that protein, some healthy fats in there, all of those kind of things, avocado on your eggs, like anything like that is going to be really, really good. Again, though, you want to make sure that you're eating within a reasonable time frame. If you work out and then you're not eating for 2 hours, you've lost some of your gains that you've got in your workouts. You want to make sure that you're getting that fuel in pretty quickly after that workout to be able to tell your body, you know, you did good. Now let's get you the gains that you're looking for and get you the results that you're craving by doing this workout. But if you don't fuel your workout properly, you could be spending hours in the gym and just wasting your time if you're not doing the work on the other side of it. So the before and after workout is super, super important, as important or more so than the during. Most of us, and it's funny because our clients tell me this all the time, because again, Lindsay's more the fitness guru, I'm more the nutrition one. And so they'll say, the fitness is easier for me. I can show up, I can get my workout in because our workouts are 30 minutes. So that's 30 minutes of your day, but you have to think about all the nutrition stuff that surrounds it all around there. And that's why nutrition is harder. It's the rest of your day and the building blocks. So if you don't do the right stuff with your nutrition, the fitness stuff just isn't as beneficial. I'm not ever going to say it's not beneficial because it still is. It's still good for your heart. It's still good for your lungs. There's still amazing benefits to it. But I know myself, when I wasn't properly fueling my fitness, I wasn't getting the results that I wanted in terms of building muscle. It just wasn't happening for me because my body didn't have enough fuel to be able to do that.
Yeah, and also keep in mind too that our body does store things for future use. So I had a client come to one of the dance fit class actually yesterday. So our dance fit classes are actually 50 minutes. On the weekend we do them a little longer. And she did it and she had fun and it was hard and, you know, she's sweating and whatever. And she's like, I was so tired the rest of the day. I felt like I had to nap. My energy levels were so low. And it wasn't like, okay, well, what did you have for breakfast? It was like, well, what did you have yesterday to eat? Because your body needs fuel on a regular basis to keep those energy levels up.
You did this, was it last week or the week before, where you had a crappy eating day? Mm-hmm. I had a crappy eating day yesterday. Being totally honest, I have a friend visiting from out of town. We ordered dinner out last night. It was supposed to be my low carb day and I just sort of failed. It just wasn't my greatest day. And I have totally, last night, I was so bloated, I looked pregnant. I'm not. Don't even have the parts anymore. So, but I was so bloated. And then even this morning, I just feel sluggish. I feel worn out. And so my body's totally storing that junk. So when I go to work out here in an hour, I know I'm going to pay for that. And it's a good reminder to me to do it every once in a while because it does kick my butt and be like, Christina, you know this. Like, don't do this. And yeah, when I have to work out on that junky fuel, it sucks. Like, even though I've eaten well this morning, I know my body doesn't feel its best. So
yeah, and I find it really interesting because my client was like, I know you're yelling at me. I know you're yelling at me. I'm like, I'm not actually, because the truth of the matter is you figuring this out yourself when you realize how. I'm like, next Sunday, what are you going to do on Saturday? She's like, I'm going to eat right. I'm like, exactly. So it is a reminder just to keep that in mind, that it's not just like, oh, I eat well this morning, I work out today, I feel okay. It's what did you have the day before, and eating, and your body will remember the crap. It will, and it will fuel, and it's like basically putting in junk into your fuel tank, and your car is going to be like, like your body will feel it until that fuel is released, and then new fuel that's good, its quality is coming in. So just keep that in mind. All right, let's talk a little bit about sleep, because I think that's a really big one. I mean, people think fueling automatically assumes it is nutrition, but it also includes sleep.
Yeah, so sleep itself is obviously good. That you want to get as much quality sleep as you can and do as many things as you can to get there. But we have lots of clients, and Lindsay herself, who struggle with sleep. So sometimes the sleep part is out of your control, but rest anyways is very important. So making sure that you have restful time and making sure that you take days off of exercise. And let your body repair and replenish that way. And I'll let Lindsay talk a little bit more about that stuff, because she's definitely more of the trial by error expert on those.
Yes. Well, so sleep definitely, again, is very, very important. Again, we can't always control that, but we can control the information that goes in, right? So that means getting ready for bed, trying at the same time, trying to avoid as much technology in bed, setting yourself up with meditation or black lights or black light curtains, or, even though you might not be ready to sleep, you are getting yourself, and it's like that mental picture reminding yourself. For me, I get up really, really early, so I do try to get some naps in during the day, and I set myself up so that when I do all of those things, right, I have my meditation, I have my blackout blinds, which is like 2 masks, by the way. And even if I don't sleep, I've still done a 30-minute meditation, and that is equivalent to quite a lot of rest. So it actually is a really good thing. So even if you don't necessarily sleep, that rest is really important. Now, rest days as a whole, nobody, and I mean nobody, should be exercising 7 days a week. Okay, nobody. And so remember too, that's going to change depending on where you are in your fitness journey. For you, doing gardening and going for a walk may have been your workout. But if you've been with us for a few years and you're doing your classes and you're getting there, gardening and going for a walk aren't considered a workout anymore. Right? They're a rest day. So go and enjoy that, right? But if you're getting your heart rate up and you're sweating like crazy and you feel you're huffing and puffing, that is no longer a rest day activity. And that is something that you're doing as you work. So rest is super important, mentally and physically and emotionally. You require at least 1 day. I actually take 2 days off completely. Right? It's absolutely amazing. Those days, my body's just like, hallelujah, and loves it. So that is really, really important. Some people take 1 day off. Some people take 4 days off, right? It just depends on where you're at. Some people do 3 times a week and 4 days a week they don't. Active recovery is also another one. Going for a walk. You hear people in our community all the time say, I hear Lindsay in my head saying, motion is lotion, which is true. If you're sore, you go for a walk. So that's classified as active recovery. You're not just sitting on the sofa watching Netflix. That's recovery. That's just crazy day. That's enjoying rest day, which is my Saturday. But active recovery is another one. So rest is important, sleep is important, and active recovery is important. Good morning, Brenda.
All right, we need to move into our announcement. So that is everything fueling your fitness. So we are going to make this week a little more fitness focused over in our group, Bariatrics Beyond the Honeymoon. We're having some fun this week with fitness. So for anybody that knows me, fitness has not always been my forte, but fun is. So I really, really like to kind of do different things and try to make things fun. So Lindsay and I came up with this really fun concept to involve a lot of you in fitness and kind of share some information about different exercises, different modifications. Lindsay has taught me, and now I truly believe it too, that fitness is for anybody. And regardless of your level, of where you're at, of injuries, of health conditions, anything, anybody can do this. We have people that have started like in a chair, on a walker, all kinds of things. So we want to take this week and show you guys a little bit of how you can do this and make fitness fun for you guys and really make this interactive. So Lindsay and I are putting ourselves out there so that you guys basically get to torture us a little bit this week. So Lindsay, how's it going to work this week? What are they doing?
All right. So most importantly, we want to show you guys lots of different options. So each day we're going to talk about a specific muscle group. So lower body, back, core, glutes, that kind of thing. I'm going to show you cardio. Both of us are already like cardio. We're going to show you 2 exercises that go along with that muscle group. But here's what we're going to do. We want to make it fun. We want to make it interactive. So we're actually challenging you guys to comment or do a selfie or a GIF or a GIF, however you say it.
Answer a question. We're going to ask you questions. So you can't just comment nonstop. You have to answer the specific question.
Yes, and then we're going to go live each day and demonstrate the exercises. Now, we're not just going to demonstrate them and then be done. We are going to do that as well. But based on your comments and your answers to these questions, you guys get to decide how many reps of each of the exercise we're doing. So today, in about 5 minutes, the first post is going to go out. And today I am actually on the chopping block, I guess is the best way to say it. We're working on lower body, and you're going to see exactly what that looks like. The question is very, very easy today, so hopefully you guys will join in. And for every comment we get on the question, I think I have to do 2 squats. And for every GIF or selfie or picture of your hometown or whatever, I have to do 5 deadlifts. So I'm going to show you the 2 exercises, which are your squats and your deadlift. And then I'm also going to show you how to modify them, if you have any limitations, what kind of thing. And then I just got to do as many as we tally up by the end of the day. So normally this week, the post is going to go up at 6 a.m. Central, 5 a.m. Mountain, 7 a.m. Eastern. It's going to stay up until 3 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Mountain. And then we're going to tally the information, and then we're going to go live and do the demonstration and do how many reps we have to do, which, maybe it's an hour. I don't know how long this is going to be.
We have no idea, but you can only comment like 1 time per person, which is why it's a question. So you can't tell us where you're from 97 times. Where you're from is a question you can answer once. But what you can do is tag all of your friends in the group and be like, Debbie, don't forget to answer today. Brenda, don't forget to answer today. Lisa, don't forget to answer today, so that you make sure that we have to suffer as much as humanly possible. One day there are burpees, which is awful. So there's all kinds of different exercises every day this week. So we're just trying to make fitness fun, show you guys a little bit of how to do things, and again, really make us pay for it. Think of, especially our members in our classes, think of all the times we've made you do those things. When you're commenting and sharing this with other people.
And so, P.S. guys, on Sunday, Ben is doing it. So get ready for Sunday, because he is on the chopping block that day. So you guys can definitely put your comments in there. Also, of course, if you have any questions about any of the exercises, any of the modifications, any of the limitations, we will answer those as well. But they don't count towards the number of reps that we're going to be doing. And again, we're going to be going live at the same time each day. If you catch the replay, amazing. If you miss it, you can always catch it. The only difference is today we're going to go a little bit later, because obviously our post is going to go up a little bit later today in about 2 minutes. So get ready for that one. And what were you going to say, Christina, before I jump in?
I think you're going the same direction. So you go.
So we are doing this all week because we're super excited about fitness. I mean, again, we know how important it is. It's one of our 4 pillars, right? We have nutrition, we have fitness, we have mindset, we have support. That's the other reason we're getting involved with this, because next week we actually have a brand new, super, super exciting week-long challenge, I guess is what it's called, that is called Ready, Set, Bet. And we're going to tell you all about it. Basically, this whole week, you're going to find out some information, but it is going to give you an opportunity to not just get involved with the accountability, the motivation to get involved with doing some of this fitness. You're going to get workouts from it. You're going to get demonstrations from it. It's in a private Facebook group, but you also are going to be able to bet on yourself. And this is huge, because a little bit of healthy competition, a little smack talk here and there is not a bad thing. You're going to bet on yourself, and you're going to place your bet. You're going to work the challenge for the whole week. And if you get your points, what happens if they're in the top for their points, Christina?
So they have a chance to win back some of their bet money and then some. So we're doing this Ready, Set, Bet, and it all depends on how many people join. So basically we've said it's $15 to enter. So you bet on yourself, you put down your 15 bucks. And then at the end of the week, somebody is going to walk away with a pool of money. So if there is 30 people that join, your pool of money, the first place winner's pool of money, will be $225. If there's 60 people that join, it will be 2 winners of $225. If we have 90 people that join, it will be 3 winners of $225. So there's a big pool of money. It's $15 to enter. Even if you don't win, at the end of the week, you're going to walk away with 7 different exercises or 7 different workouts that you can do anywhere. You're going to get different exercise moves and modifications for every different muscle group in your body. We're going to show you how to do them, and then we're going to, again, just have some fun with it, have some accountability. It's going to be an awesome week. So look for details all this week about what's happening. It starts next Monday. It's Ready, Set, Vet starts next Monday. So we're gearing up for that this week by you guys torturing Lindsay and I. So we'll tell you more in our lives this week. We'll tell you a little bit of details about it, how to get started. Look for the post, and again, it's in the Bariatrics Beyond the Honeymoon group is where you're going to find all of this information. And it's just going to be a super fun 1-week challenge, 7 days, that's it. And yeah, you have a chance to win some big money.
Yeah, it's going to be so exciting. And again, we will tell you guys so much more information. I'm sure people have questions. We always say, Christina and I are like we create these ideas and we get all excited and we break them down. And then like everybody has like 17 questions because they're like, well, what about this? What about, and we're like, oh, we didn't really think about that. So we will be giving you lots of information. There is starting today, I think at 11 o'clock, we're going to be posting the information for the registration for your bet. It has a question and answer session. There's going to be a question and answer section. There's going to be information there too. So again, find out the details, get yourself involved. We want you to, maybe it's a family affair, maybe it's colleagues, maybe it's friends, maybe it's people in this group. We're going to really have some fun with it. We're going to participate. Of course, we can't win, but it's going to be a really amazing time. And I mean, what better way to kind of stay motivated in a time when we don't feel so motivated sometimes than potentially winning. And then on top of all that, you get all the great things, from learning fitness to understanding. And yes, of course, there's going to be modifications. Yes, of course, there's going to be options for those of you who have limitations. And that's what it's all about. We want to show you that no matter where you are in your journey, whether you've never exercised a day in your life or whether you're a superstar exerciser, this type of challenge can work for you no matter what. So super, super excited.
All right. We're going to log off here. Lindsay's going to get that first post out there for her to do some squats and deadlifts later today. So make sure you get in there and comment. Tell us where you're from. That's all you have to do on that post. So again, over in Bariatrics Beyond the Honeymoon is where you're going to find it. If you have any questions, reach out to us. And we can't wait to rock this week with you guys. It's going to be so fun.
Yeah. Have a good one, guys. We'll talk to you later. Bye.